And you don't know how many times I've absolutely f***ed it up.
Yeah,
and
that's part of the process, man.
It is.
It's part of the process.
And I think I just want to, there's going to be no structure to this because I'm just going right back to where we left off.
Yes.
In the sense that over here we're more reclusive.
Yes.
Over here we don't, you're in front of us giving us literal golden nuggets.
Yeah.
Nugget! Yeah. Literal golden nuggets about research, about getting into that market. And, a lot of us, I know we had follow-up questions.
Right.
I know we had questions about, is it best to use an online platform? Is it best to go on search engines and see what comes up? I know people had a lot of questions about that, and I know they did not ask because they were afraid of the person next to them, or maybe one of the people guarding the event, or maybe even the worst, your mind play tricks me. Maybe you guys would go and say, no, we're not, we don't want to take any questions right now. It's that kind of fear in them, and I just want you to kind of elaborate why in the US that fear, you have just absolutely smashed it. You guys have absolutely just trying to get that mindset to get people to break down from that.
Well, one thing you got to understand, when you were in the States, you're in a microcosm of reality, because in TSP that's not all of America. That's smooth. Yeah, you're talking about the most enterprising, the most ambitious, the most go-getters. Like, we got all of these people in this room, and so you could almost think that that's how all of the U.S. is, and that's not reality. Actually, you do have a lot of people who are not sure of themselves, scared to ask questions, need permission to make a move because they don't trust themselves, and they'd rather someone else, tell them what to do rather than them doing what they know they ought to do. So we have a lot of that too. It's just that when you get TSP, you're getting a lot of the cream of the crop together. So it can create kind of like an unrealistic reality, if you will, to some degree. But generally speaking, though, Americans, yes, we do usually have bravado. Like, the downside is most people, they try to make themselves bigger than they are. That's why you might hear fake it till you make it. Okay. That's a U.S. thing, probably.
We have it here as well. Very much so. Yeah, very much so.
Okay. But that's, a lot of people are presenting themselves to be something that they're actually not. So it's a lot of that, because it's like, look at our president, and I don't want to get political, but it's just kind of like, the guy will say anything to get what he wants. Like, he doesn't care. Like, and I don't dislike the guy. Like, hate is not like part of my vocabulary, right? Like, I don't hate people, especially if I don't know you. Like, I can only hate you if I know you and you did something despicable to me or somebody that I care about, right? But the guy he tell lies, and I don't respect that, but I don't dislike him. But it's like, that's a typical American, like, they'll say anything to get what they want.
I see.
And it's an American way. So it's just kind of,
I just want to come back to what you said about that, because when I was going to TSP, missiles had just been launched to Iran.
Yep.
So we booked this flight already, and now the plane that we're going on is a potential flight, like a potential health risk. Like, we might lose our lives, if they retaliate on the aviation. And and when I actually got there, it was as if that stuff wasn't happening. It wasn't like a true reflection, because like you said, it's when you're in the TSP room, it's not a reflection of all America.
Correct.
At the same time, when you get to America, it's not a reflection of everything that the leader or that the Congress or whatever is doing. So I just thought that my kind of goal, especially why I'm so everywhere trying to get to all these events, is bridge that connection and bridge people like me who've just come here for the first, came there for the first year and went over there to see what's going on, get educated, see what the bounds of reality were. That's why it's so important that even we're having this interview. You know what I mean? I'm very thankful that you're even here.
I mean, look, exposure, like before mindset, you got to be exposed to what's possible, right? And then to actually execute on what's possible. That's kind of where the mindset comes in at, because you kind of you'll tell yourself all kind of stuff. You'll talk yourself out of things. I even do it still. Like, I'm not acting like I got it all figured out, but I definitely work on my mindset all the time, because there's levels to that. But before you can even get to that, like, you can't have a mindset about something you don't even know exists.
Exactly.
So exposure is huge, and so I think what you're doing by coming over to get exposed, you get to see, like, oh wow, there's a whole nother, way of doing that I didn't, and it changes your mentality now about what you want to do and the vision you have for yourself. And then now you start working on the mindset and everything like that. So yeah, I think that's a huge one, man. Exposure is huge, bro.
And I just want to go to people like me that are like at home. Before I was doing the 9 to 5, as everyone does in their life at some point, 9 to 5, and I have these ambitions, but I want to really bring my focus in so that I can be effective with the time that I have. What kind of exercises would you recommend people to do to kind of focus that vision and start to execute on the little problems?
I mean, first of all, you got to get really clear on what you're trying to achieve, right? I don't know, you got 5-year goals, 10-year goals, whatever. Because something that blew me away was a buddy of mine was telling me, like, the Jewish people, they have like 100-year goals. Jesus. When they're 13 years old, they have to present like a 100-year plan. Yeah, I was like, wow, because I'm like on my 5, 10. And that really changed my mentality to make me think about what does it look like when I'm no longer around? Like, what is it? Because 100 years, you're not going to live 100 years. So it's just completely, you know what I mean? So first and foremost, I think you kind of have to have a vision for what you want. And then I always work that down into 10 years, 5 years, 1 year, 6 months, things of that nature. Those are kind of like the first steps that I normally take in there. And then I was going to say something else and it just slipped my mind.
No, it's okay. You just gave it. I think there was a bit of an exchange there because you said an answer that I could have never fathomed. 100-year goals. 100-year goals. And that's going to be a lot of almost everyone there.
Bro.
It's nuts.
At 13 years old, they have to present that. That's insane.
Double the time. They're on the move. They're on the move.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
So
that's right. It's all right. We'll educate him later. You know what I mean? We'll educate him later. You always get your one.
I was wondering. I'm like, don't you see the cameraman?
I know. But listen, you roll the punches.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Roll the punches and you keep going. It doesn't affect anything. You right?
Excuse me. I'm under the weather, man.
You are all good. This weather is awful. Don't worry about it. Even in America, the rain is hot.
Yeah.
The rain is cold here. You know what I mean? I'm trying to. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I just wanted to leave with one more thing because I know.
Okay.
When you were talking about research, and you know what was the bit that really got into my head about what you said? Getting trapped in analysis,
100%.
getting analysis paralysis.
Yes.
How can one break out of that? And because we all have analysis, we all have data. How would you recommend one to break out of that analysis paralysis?
That's a really great question, man. I don't know if I have the right way, but what works for me is I know for me, like, I have to do like if I start on a research process, within like a week, I have to have at least 3 things that I'm going to implement that I have to do within those 7 days. And so for me, that's kind of like how I
break out of
kind of like, you know what I mean? Like I can't just stay stuck in it. I got to find like, okay, what am I going to do? Because I can do analysis, but I'm a data nerd, right? And I might be all the way down the rabbit hole looking at all of this, you know, and I can just get lost in it. And I get lost, you know what I mean? I get lost in it. But I have to remind myself, you know, I got like, there needs to be at least, I wouldn't say at least, but usually like up to 3 things. Sometimes it's 1. But up to 3 things, I got to make a decision on.
3 things, 7 days.
Within 7 days. You know, if it's 1, that's fine. But up to 3. No more than 3, because if I do more than 3, I'm not going to do them. Because it's just too much other stuff going on, right? But I got to pick at least 1, up to 3 things, and I got to do them within 7 days. So that's just kind of like, you know, and so me and my team, we hold each other accountable. So that's another piece, accountability.
It's really good to have an accountability partner.
Exactly.
It's really nice.
So then when you put that out, it's like, these are the 3 things, or the 2 things, or the 1 thing. Now somebody can hold you accountable and be like, did you do the thing? Did you do, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And
or
so
get
now,
down there and do it.
exactly.
Do it. Like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I mean?
And vice versa. Like, we all hold each other accountable.
Exactly.
So that's a big part of it too, having accountability.
I think when I go to all these networking events and I say to people, I'm not trying to push what I'm doing.
Yeah.
What can I do for you with what I have?
Yes.
And when you then make these partnerships, like even this, the lady that was there, Yana, we're going to now work together on keynote speaking in schools. But we're going to have to hold each other accountability on getting the projects drafted up, about approaching the schools, about having the numbers, about having the resources. So what you've said right now is a golden nugget. The golden nuggets that you can't eat, like the actual metal ones. Tommie Powers.
Sound good.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
guys,
sir.
thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much, Tommie.
Yes, sir.
Honestly. Woo!
Awesome.